Yeah, they can definitely hear anything that we're gonna say, but it's totally fine.
Yeah, there was some news today as far as like Collecticon. It was finalized today, so I can talk about that some.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that the website just got up with Collecticon too. So yeah, that's new news. Something you'd probably want to have your followers hear about.
Oh, that'd
I
be great.
just Yeah, I just posted it online. I just posted it on my IG,
Okay.
and so some will have already seen it, but not all. So, and then we have that big in-person art, finishing thing with Chris. Is it Chris RWJ?
Oh.
Let me see. It's because that's going to be for tomorrow night at 5:30, where I'm going to be online with him while he finishes the painting that he's doing of Satoshi Tajiri.
Oh wow.
Yeah, if you go to my IG real fast, you'll see the artwork that he's already completed, and then he's going to finish the picture while we talk, and it's going to be auctioned off for the Aoki Foundation.
Oh yeah, I see that. That is so cool.
How cool is that, huh?
That's
He,
amazing.
he's a real talent. This Chris, this guy, he's just done some amazing things. And he was at Collecticon one. Maybe I should be telling this stuff during your. Are you on live now?
We are actually.
Oh, good.
People can hear
Okay.
us, but I have the starting screen up right now, so we're just getting warmed up.
All right. Good.
I'm gonna go ahead and share a picture real quick on my Insta too.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's going
his
live.
Instagram is Chris RWK. Just so I remember that, because I want to mention that because that all that it's a one of one painting,
Wow.
and it's going to get auctioned off, and one person who wins it, all the money goes to the Aoki Foundation. And I'm going to try to get Steve to come on, just to say,
Ooh.
just do a quick hello. He just texted me just now. I didn't read it, but yeah, so I'm going to try to get him to come on tomorrow night, just because it's all going to our foundation. It's hard to get him to do anything because I have a tight schedule. His is insane.
Yeah, I bet you he's completely, completely
Yeah,
full of like things to do and events.
yeah, even for me, and I'm his best friend, and we do tons of things together, and it's still hard for even me to set up time. Now, if it's our little daughter, Akara, Twan's and my little girl,
Uh-huh.
then she's welcome to come anytime, day or night, because he's like a surrogate godfather to her,
Oh, oh,
and
that's so
so
sweet.
she's invited anytime. I have to get permission.
You have to get the permission.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna get through all of this in the show today and talk about your whole life experience, pretty much everything about Gary.
It's only 67 years of stuff.
Here's a
So
sense. That's great. All right, so we got about 50 seconds.
you're supposed to say you don't look a day over 50, Gary.
You don't.
Thank you.
All right, it looks like we have a few that are coming in our chat right now. They have
Uh-huh.
some of us have the us on their TV screen.
Good. Did I get you? Did I get this shared properly on my IG?
Yes.
Okay. Because I'm such a noob at the social media stuff that I make a lot of mistakes, and so I want to make sure I get it up things up properly. And let's see where. Oh, I got it on my story, right?
Oh.
Let me see. Oh, I've had it on my story. This is on Twitch also, right?
Yes, we're gonna go live on Twitch right about now.
Uh-huh.
Get ready to say hi, Gary.
Yeah, hi. Hi, everybody. Thanks for having me over here. This is fun.
Welcome.
Yep. We've been doing a lot of talking already, so
Yeah, just getting a little
so,
warmed up.
so we're old friends already.
Yeah, hi everyone. My name is Unicorn. I am doing my first interview stream, and I have the honor of being able to do this with Gary the Pokemon King. If you do not know him, he has been on Pawn Stars trying to sell off his Charizard collection. He's been on
Pretending to.
pretending to, yep. We've seen him on numerous amount of interviews with like Lionheart, Steve Aoki does trading card breaks with him, and yeah, here he is,
Logan
Gary.
Paul. Yeah, my biggest one was with Logan Paul.
Yes,
Uh,
Logan Paul.
yeah, that one on his stream is like about 10 million views. So he's crazy popular.
10 million views. Wow, I can't
Yeah, and
believe
I
that.
can't under why anybody would want to see me. Especially 10 million people is pretty amazing.
I know. Jeez. So, now, how did you guys start doing breaks together, or even like do anything with each other with
Well,
Pokemon?
it seems anytime the biggest celebrities wanted like Justin Bieber and all these guys. Anytime they wanted, they needed information about Pokemon, or they wanted to get into the hobby, and that it was kind of a natural that they would contact me, because being one of the old timers, having been there from the beginning,
Hmm.
and having a good honest reputation, uh that word gets around. And so it's why I get so many messages. I get hundreds of messages a day, because people trust me, and and they feel like they know me, because I have been doing appearances for 20 some years in Pokemon. And so it's good. That's actually a good thing. And then one leads to another. Like Steve Aoki is not only my friend and neighbor, but he's referred a lot of people that want to get into Pokemon. They haven't talked to me. And I mean, I got to admit, I knew Steve as a neighbor, but I didn't know him as a musician or a dance
Oh.
artist or anything like that. I had no idea. uh,
Oh.
and like with Logan, I had never even heard of Logan before,
Like, who's this
before he
guy?
contacted me quite a while back. And because I'm a different generation, so I would have different interests from things in my past. And now it turns out my boys, I have two sons.
Uh-huh.
They're 28 and 29. One is Pokemon Prince,
Yes.
and they, of course, they know all these guys, because they're a part of like your generation, and that, so they do know. So they were always so impressed. Yeah, and they'd come over to the house, and sitting there would be Steve Aoki, who they idolized, or Logan Paul, or other
Yeah.
people.
Oh my God, can you
And they would
imagine?
think, boy, I guess my dad's cool. He knows all these people and that. But so
Gosh.
that was good for the family relationship thing, huh?
Yeah, that would be so. Like, if I had my dad have Steve Aoki at my place, all of a sudden I walk home like, Steve Aoki, what are you doing here? We're having dinner?
Yeah, I'll never forget it. The first time that my son walked in, came over, that Steve was there. I told Steve, I
Oh.
said, "Don't say anything. Look towards me. Don't," because Devin didn't know he was there. But
Oh.
Devin has been going to EDC, and
Yeah.
and been going to all. He had seen Steve as far back as 2010. And
Oh wow.
so I said, I know he knows you, but I don't want him to see you right away. So I told Steve, sit in the little girl's chair, and face me, with his long hair and that,
Yeah.
but don't show your face. And so my Pokemon Prince, Devin, comes walking in, and hi everybody. And Steve had a photographer there, and his business manager and his charity organizer, because we were discussing business things. And all of a sudden, Steve turned and faced him, and Pokemon Prince went, "What, Steve Aoki?" He says, "Every time I come over here, I never know who I'm going to see." And
Oh, that's so cool.
yeah, and they got along. They got along great.
Oh.
That's like one of Devin. Pokemon Prince Devin is his
Hmm.
name. That's one of his heroes. And so, yeah, so that was fun.
Yes, and you
So
can follow Devin on his Instagram too. He's
yeah,
definitely
Pokemon
following Gary.
Prince. Yeah, Pokemon Prince.
Now, did you introduce this to Devin and your kids and family to get involved with trading cards, or was it Pokemon first that got him into it?
Yeah, well, pretty much as a trading card game, it was Pokemon first. We would always remember they were born. Him and his brother were born in 1991 and
Oh wow.
1992, and so at this time, when they were 7, 8 years old, we used to lie on the bed and watch uh, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and
Yes.
the Power Rangers, and play the handheld games, the Game Boys
Oh
and stuff,
yeah. I definitely had
including
one of those.
yeah, including Pokemon, and so they knew about Pokemon that way, and until they hit our shores, and then they got interested in the trading card game, uh, as did I, along with Yu-Gi-Oh and Dragon Ball Z. Yeah, so that's kind of how they were introduced.
Oh,
To,
that's amazing. And so you
uh,
taught them like how to like hold the cards carefully and keep them nice and mint.
yeah, I'm an old time collector, so I've been collecting cards going back to the 1960s.
Oh
So,
wow.
so I knew all about the importance of condition on future value, et cetera. So certainly they saw me, pulling the cards, putting them inside, sleeves, and sending them to PSA, and the values of the cards. And I think a lot of what they learned in a business sense was because of Pokemon, because they learned about value, and how to maximize value, stuff like that. So
Yeah. Yeah,
mhm.
that's amazing. What would be like your besides Charizard, we know, what other cards are like your particular favorites?
Well, my absolute favorite is the base set Venusaur.
Oh, okay, Venusaur.
Yeah, I love Venusaur. I love just the rounded nose, and it makes you kind of want to put your hands over his face, and shake his head, shake his head around like that, because he's just so cute,
Yeah.
so filled out and so cute, and so he's my favorite. Charizard is a close second, of course, but I'd have to say Venusaur, and I do like Dragon. I don't know. I like all the the dragons, and typical guy thing, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Those characters. But then again, probably my fourth favorite is Eevee,
Oh,
and that's not
Eevee.
yeah, and that's not so, and I like Ponyta too from the base set.
Mhm.
So I'm not all the boy things. I like a lot of the characters that appeal, like Pikachu, and like would appeal to the girls too. Just as much.
Yeah, I think like my first time actually get involved with Pokemon was from my high school friend. He literally was telling me like, "Have you heard of Pokemon?" I'm like, "Poke what?" And it was when it was playing on like public TV back then, and he's like, "Just watch it, you'll trust me." So the Pikachu episode, the very first one, didn't really sell me, but the one who got me was Caterpie. When
Oh,
Caterpie met Misty and his little eyes had the animated teary eyes. I was like, oh,
yeah.
poor Caterpie. But yeah, that's what got me into it. And then I
Cool.
wasn't really into the trading cards just yet because back then I was collecting Marvel cards.
Ah,
Trying to learn how to draw comic book style and animation, and and then I wished I kept my pack of Pokemon cards when my friend first gave them to me,
Yeah.
but I had given them away, and then now it's just like it's so crazy how mainstream it is and how
You
much people
mentioned the
are.
Marvel. You mentioned the
Yeah.
Marvel. Are you talking about like Marvel masterpieces, from 1991 to 1996, or are
Yes.
you talking about that?
Yes.
Really? Yeah. I love those. I collected all. I have all those sets,
Oh, really?
all the
Oh,
Marvel, and I know they were worth nothing for 20
nothing.
years, and
Nothing.
now suddenly they're way up in value.
Oh, really? I need to go check
Yeah.
then.
Yeah, in fact, Steve Aoki did a box break of Marvel cards, the
Oh,
Marvel
okay.
masterpieces, just last week.
Oh,
And when I
nice.
saw that, I said, "Well, what have these gone up in value?" And so I went and checked, and I went, "Whoa, I got some money in those binders."
Oh, wow.
Of course, I'm horrible. I'm a horrible seller. I can never seem to sell. I never want to sell anything because I love the all my old sets, the ones that I worked hard to put together, and it was a little bit harder in those years, the 70s, 80s, 90s. It was a little harder
Yes.
to put sets because you didn't have an eBay, you didn't have social media, Facebook groups, and things where you could, trade and that. You basically had to go to game stores, card shops.
Yes.
You had to go in person, to shows. And what state are you in?
I am located in Washington State. So,
Oh, okay.
yeah, we used to, I literally would walk all the way after school to this card shop, mainly because they had candy there. But
Uh,
all
mm-hmm,
these baseball cards, basketball cards, football cards, and I would just,
mm-hmm.
and then he, like, I remember the guy there and he gave me my first pack for free. And I'm just this little girl in there just checking out all
Uh,
these boy stuff.
right.
And
Uh-huh.
yeah, like Cabbage Patch Kids too and stuff. And then I opened it. I just got so fascinated with unwrapping things and like the art, and I appreciated
Mm-hmm.
that. And so I just kept going every single day. Every time I got like my chores money from my mom, I would just walk all the
Uh-huh.
way back to the store and spend it all there. I was
You know,
not
I
saving money.
I must have went up there to Washington 20 times in 1999 and the early part of 2000
Oh, nice.
because Wizards of the Coast was located in Renton.
Yes, and it's still there.
So I went up there. I went up there at least a dozen and a half times, trying to exchange cards for cards that came out of the packs with, markings on it, get, things like that, and trying to get to know the people and maybe, work on a consultation uh, type of way with them. So I was up there probably 20 times.
Oh,
So yeah.
really? Wow.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I had no idea Wizard of the Coast was actually at our location until one day I was driving on our highway and I just saw
Hmm.
this. I think I got lost and I just saw
Right.
Wizard of the Coast and I was like, they're here? They're based off of Washington? What? Yeah, but I had no, I only knew of them for making magic cards.
Oh
I
yeah,
didn't know
right.
they were making Pokemon cards.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So, any like when you purchase cards, what are the hottest sets right now, or like the most you want to probably try to find and keep them sealed?
Well, with the newer product, I it's hard to make recommendations because when you collect as many things as I do and for long as I have, and you have such a big interest in the Wizards of the WotC cards, the Wizards of the Coast cards. Uh, I hate to make recommendations on newer stuff because I'm just not as in touch, as in tune, with what's the hottest. So I haven't really speculated, at all on any of the newer sets. But I'll tell you this: I everything I've seen, I love the newer sets. All the interest people have because that's what it takes to keep a hobby alive. It takes putting out new product, young people getting interested in that product, that
Mm-hmm.
carrying that interest with them into adulthood, and that's what it takes. So I love the new stuff. I just don't have enough of a experience, I guess you could say, in dealing with them. I do have some, but just from, just for fun, just for the fun of opening packs and that. Uh, so I don't know. What do you think are good investments on these newer sets?
Oh yeah. Uh, so at least from what my friends say,
Uh,
the XY evolutions are definitely something you would want to keep sealed because it'll probably be more exciting to open later down the road, you know? Like all these base sets, first editions are like so hard to find nowadays, and there's people are just upselling them by gosh, who knows how much, you know?
right.
So it's like what in the world? Like, how can we even get one? But
Mhm.
you're gonna have to buy the whole box for over $3,000 just to get one, you know?
Right.
But
Well, that's interesting because the evolutions were just absolutely nothing when they came out, and for a year, the following year and the year after, nobody cared at all for them. And now
uh,
it's one of the hottest things in the hobby.
yeah.
So had you asked me back then, I might have pointed people in the direction because they were way undervalued, I thought, and exactly for the reason you said, because these are the vintage guys. These are the guys that we all love, yet are just too expensive, to get them in their original sets.
Mhm.
And so evolutions was just a great idea. And so I and the artwork, I mean, I think it's just terrific.
Yeah,
So,
definitely
and
for
now
the hollows, right?
they've taken off. Yeah.
So how many Charizard cards do you have now? Because I know recently I saw a post and I didn't really get the time to see it because you
Hmm.
know I was trying to review, but there's used to have all the Charizard cards, but did you get rid of them?
I have about 100 PSA 10s.
100?
Yeah, about 100 PSA 10, and they're almost all, I would say 90 of them are all vintage Charizards.
Wow.
So, oh no, I have my Charizard collection. And then, I probably have more PSA 10s than I do nines or raw
Mhm.
because I don't collect the nines or the raws. When I get them, I trade them or I trade up. I try to get more PSA 10s. And, fortunately, I'm able to, being retired and having worked my whole life, I got a few dollars together. So I was able to spend money, a little bit more money than most on those. And so I would say it's the listing I have on eBay, that's accurate. That's up to date.
And what is that
So
at?
that's my name on there is King Pokemon, and it shows a listing. It's about a $20 million listing, and it has all those Charizards listed in the description. There's a lot of pictures, but in the description I put down exactly how many. Like I have 52 base set PSA 10 Charizards, 52 of them, and I
Oh,
show some. But also I have the others. As I accumulated more, I didn't update the website picture wise, but I added the numbers. So that description is accurate. That's my Charizard collection.
wow, that's amazing. So,
Yeah,
do you currently hold the Guinness World Record for the most Pokemon cards held?
yeah. I'd say in several categories. Yeah,
In
probably.
several categories. Oh
Oh
my
yeah.
god. I don't even have one.
Yeah, well, you know what?
Uh-oh. Gary, I think we lost
Going
you.
to.
Hold on one
Huh?
second. Oh, I think you froze for just a second. What was that again?
Yeah, what I was saying is you have a lot more years to go than I do. So you have time, plenty of time to catch up. I'm nearing the end, so
No, I think you have many more years.
well, I hope I have at least 20. My goal is to see my daughter, who's 6 years old now,
Yeah.
is to see her make it to her mid 20s. So if I can live till I'm 85 to 87, somewhere in there, I mean, I'd be very, very grateful to see how my little girl, turns
Oh.
out.
Now, has she had an interest in it yet? Do you
She
give her
loves
like
the
one that's
plushes.
covered?
Yeah, she's kind of interesting. I don't know if you know any autistic people, autistic kids or whatever, but they're so amazing. She They have very focused attention spans. They can look at one thing, for all day and just enjoy it and just to know what they see. So she loves Pokemon characters. We tonight we listened to the theme song
Oh yeah.
about 100 times because now she loves the Pokemon theme song.
Oh, cute.
Yeah, I put it on because I know we'll probably get to it, but at Collecticon, the one coming up in June, the guy who sang that song is going to be one of my guests.
Oh,
And
nice.
so when I come out, along with maybe Real Breaking Nate and Super Duper Danny, we're all going to be there in person. When we come out onto the floor, he's going to be singing the Pokemon song.
Oh, that's so
So
cool. It's like your entrance.
yeah, it's our entrance, and he's going to be singing the Pokemon song at the same time, and he's the original singer of the song.
That's amazing.
And he's doing it in person. He's going to be there in person, so that's going to be a lot of fun. So anyway, Akara, who's the little girl, the 6-year-old,
Uh-huh.
I put that on just to listen to it one more time. No, because I know I'm going to be with him. And then she heard it, and she wanted it on again, and she wanted it on again, and all kids do, but autistic kids get way carried away. They just go on and on and on and on, and so we were able to listen to that a bunch, but with her autism, it's more a thing of the characters than it is the cards right now.
Oh.
And so
So which one's her favorite character?
definitely Pikachu, and then
Yes.
Charmander. She likes the starters, Squirtle, yeah, because that's mainly what I have around. And when I buy something, it's normally one of those guys.
Aw, so cute.
Yeah, she loves that.
So are you still gonna go with my idea of wearing that nice little crown and the cape behind you
Yeah,
to,
I
you know?
know. I know. You know what? I would be too embarrassed. I'd be too embarrassed to. Fortunately, the most of the people that would be there would know me, so you know, uh, that might be overkill.
Yeah, I first discovered you from the Pawn Stars for sure.
Uh-huh.
And I was
Right.
like, Pokemon, oh my gosh, yes. Who is this guy? And then years passed, and then I saw you again on that's when I saw you like on Aoki's
Oh,
Instagram. And I was like, oh,
yeah.
it's that guy that was on Pawn Stars.
Right. Yes.
So are you gonna be doing like autographs there? What are you gonna be doing at the con?
Yeah. I'm going to be taking pictures, with everybody and signing autographs. And uh, we 2 months ago we had the first Collecticon, and it was also near Dallas in Texas. And so this one's going to be at the same venue, but that one was so packed that we were taking out double the space.
Oh wow.
We're going from 40,000 square foot for all the vendors' tables and all the customers to 100,000 square foot. So doubling in size because, people want to get out and do stuff now. They're fed up with the virus thing, and
Oh yeah.
and like Texas is totally open. You don't have to wear masks or nothing anymore. It's all
Oh
over.
really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And although it's still your choice, it's still the people's choice. Half the time, now I'm all vaccinated because of my age and that, but I still wear a shield. Half the time wear a shield, and the all the customers, we must have seen. See, along with me at the first one was Lee Steinfeld, Leonhardt,
Mhm.
and Real Breaking Nate. We were all together on stage, and we must have had 1,000 people each day in line to come up to take pictures and get autographs. And fortunately, when you get sick and go to the hospital with this virus, they track where you've been. And we did not get a single COVID experience that could be traced back to the convention.
Oh,
So,
great.
so
And
that
wow,
that
that's
and now people want to get out. People are just tired of sick and tired of being sick and tired,
yeah.
home. And so now it's and also this convention is going to be June 26th and 27th, so a couple months out even further. So
And where
so
is
we're
that located at?
yeah. The
Oh,
what?
where is that going to be located at?
In Frisco, Texas, at the
Texas.
Embassy
Okay.
Suites in Frisco, Texas,
Oh,
which
nice.
is just outside of Dallas.
How exciting that's going to be.
Yeah, I know. I would. It's going to be a lot of fun. Super duper Danny Sanchez. She wasn't able to go with me last time, and
Oh,
so she is this time. And I mean, she's such a sweetheart. I mean,
oh.
she's going to be so much fun, to have there, and we all love her so much, and so it's just going to be great, to have her there. And a lot more vendors are coming, people that we all know on Instagram. There's going to be
Mhm.
a lot of people we know that are going to be set up there, with their wares, with their collections and that. And I think tables, like for a 6-foot table, it's only like $150. So, almost anybody could do that. And yet they bring their collections and buy, sell, trade, and have fun.
Mhm.
And also it's a kid friendly convention.
That's
uh,
good.
yeah, it's real good because anytime you go to these collectible shows, they're so stale, and all you have is a bunch of die-hard collectors, bargaining, and it's hardly family friendly. Uh, this one is going to have play areas for kids. There's going to be food things on the floor. There's going to be life-size Pokemon creatures running around.
Oh, those are
We're
gonna be
gonna have a
fun.
six, we're gonna have a 60-foot Pikachu.
What?
There, yeah, we got permission from the fire marshal, to get this big, gigantic. We tried to get it for the first one, and we weren't approved. We got approved this time. So I mean, it's just going to be so. I think there's going to be an arcade area for free arcade
Oh,
games.
that's gonna be cool
Vintage
too.
ones like Ms. Pac-Man and all those. It's just going to be so much fun. People can find that information on my Instagram, and with the website to get tickets, admission tickets, and that. But it's going to be great to see everybody again. I had such a blast. I wore myself out. We thought it was going to be about an hour and a half
Oh
each,
yeah.
and it turned out being 5 hours each day,
5 hours each day.
which
Wow.
is a lot for an old man like me. By the end of the day, I was tired.
Yeah, I bet you were. You gotta get your hand ready for all those autographing.
That's right. Yes. Oh, that's more than a pleasure too. I can't tell you how much I love the all the people that come up and their stories. I mean, dozens and dozens of autistic kids come up and just say, and they look at me almost like they have they have pride in their autism, because they felt that I made them that I made them feel like it's something to be proud of.
Aw.
And that if the founder of the biggest media franchise in history, Satoshi Tajiri, who's autistic, could accomplish what he did,
Yes.
well, they can accomplish anything also, just like the rest of us. And I mean that carries me through another hour every single time one of those kids comes, or even adults with autism, come up to me, uh, just to thank me for what I do with the Aoki Foundation and stuff like that. And the thing they don't realize, and that all of your followers should realize, is that when you do something like that, for other people, you get way, 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 way more out of it
Oh,
than
of course.
you put into it, because it kind of makes me feel like my life has a lot more value because of them, because of trying to get that support and that love for the autism society. It makes makes me feel like more of a person. So I get way more out of it than they do. And that's, we can all learn a lesson from that. Anytime you get a chance to help
Yes.
in any way at all, you're going to benefit way more than the time you put out supporting it.
And I love that that's what you do. You get yourself involved. You actually be a part of the community and not it's not about, oh, I have Pokemon cards and I'm trying to sell them to you, you know. It's literally you are there. You are it. You're
Yeah,
inspiration to many people out there with autism, and the fact that you're also supporting Aoki's Foundation for Autism is great. I mean, we need more
yeah.
people like that in this world.
Well, I think we are. I think we're getting more and more. I know, like I did something yesterday, the day before with Twan, with
Mhm.
Autism Instruct, where we were opening at MetaZoo packs,
Oh
and
yeah.
I brought on, that just happened to show up in the chat. I brought on 3 people that were all 3 were doing something for the charity of the Aoki Foundation.
Oh
All 3 of them.
wow.
Yeah, so what you do rubs off on others, and then
Yes.
they're going to do, and then they're going to rub off on others, and suddenly, you've just flat out changed the world. You've certainly changed the world for many of those people that you help. But then it gets carried on to others, and like this thing we're doing tomorrow night for charity, the painting.
Yes.
It's a one-of-one-kind painting by Chris. Is it Chris RWK?
I
Let
believe
me let me
so.
let me look real fast. So
Yeah,
because
go
I'm
ahead
gonna
and
want
tell
everybody to
everybody what
look.
that is.
Yeah, he painted. He's just a terrific painter. It's yeah, Chris with a K, KRISRWK. Tomorrow night at 5:30 Pacific time,
Okay.
he's gonna be finishing a piece that he created, an original piece. He's pretty much finished the painting. He's just gonna finish it off while we're doing a live stream, while we're talking. And then we're gonna be taking yeah, there you go. Yeah,
There
that's
it is. That
partially
is the
finished.
painting
That
right
is
there.
Satoshi Tajiri, and that's what came out of his autistic mind. And I mean, how unbelievable is that? That is just gorgeous. And then Chris is going to be finishing it, like how you and I are talking right now.
Uh-huh.
Him and I are going to be talking, but he's going to be finishing that painting off. And then we're going to be taking bids, and whatever it sells for, and it's a one-of-one, is all going to go to the Aoki Foundation.
That's
So that's just
amazing.
one example, but also the thing I did with Pokemon Radar. He's doing charity things with me, and then the other fella I talked to, but it really is contagious. It just makes you feel like wanting to do something when you see other people do it. And and I'm very grateful to Steve Aoki for bringing me in under the umbrella of his foundation, because his foundation is for brain health, and which is an amazing cause. I mean, I'm such a fan of that now.
Yeah.
But he brought the autism into it because it is a brain thing, right? So he brought that in and made the dreams that Twan and I had a reality, under his umbrella, where we didn't have to do all the stuff, the paperwork and the government approval, and I mean all this other garbage that takes years before you can even get qualified for a charity.
Yeah.
I'm so
Yeah, that's a
grateful
lot
to
of work
Steve,
into it.
yeah, for letting me in on that.
So was it your idea to have that with Stevie Aoki, or did he just offer it?
Well, him and I, being friends, we were just hanging out talking, and I mentioned to him that after a very sad experience I had with a lady with an autistic son, and I was just telling him that Twan and I are trying to get this charity up and running for autistic families who lose their job or their insurance, and they have to pull their kids out of therapy when their kids have been doing so well, progressing and growing, and now they're shut out. That's it.
Yeah.
I told Steve that Twan and I have been working on this charity also, and we're having to jump through hoops, that we're having such a difficult time, getting it up and going. And he said, Gary, don't worry anymore. You and Tuan are now a part of my foundation. I
Oh.
said, you do everything the way you want. He said, I trust you. You do everything the way you want. You grow it how you want. You have events under my name. Anything you do, I'll support you in it. And don't worry about what it takes to do it, because now you're 100% legal under my foundation.
Oh wow.
So that's how it came about. And then soon after, he started to fall in love with our vision. And so he then soon after made autism a part of his charity side of it, and now we do everything together.
Oh,
So
that's amazing.
that's how it came about. Thank God for Steve. Thank God for his generosity in doing
Yes.
that. And also to his charity organizer, Britta Buckholtz, who worked with United Way for like 10 years. I mean,
Oh,
she's
okay.
helped me so much, with these events. We have big events planned, and yeah, so I'm very, very grateful to him for that.
Now, where can everybody, like, if anybody else would like to get more information on that, where can they go?
Well, what we're doing right now, aokifoundation.org/Pokemon. So aokifoundation.org/Pokemon. That's the website. That takes you to our Pokemon page, where people can make donations under Logan's name or my name or PokeRev or Super Duper Danny, or all of us are
Oh,
on
so
there. And
everybody's involved. That's
yeah,
awesome.
they can make their names. That's something else I want to mention. But that you can make a $10 donation or more under any one of their names, and you'll qualify to win this amazing poster that's signed by all of us, hand
Oh,
signed by all of us. Yeah, and I want to mention that there's 16 people. 1 second.
yeah.
This is the poster. And
Oh,
there's
yeah, I did see that on your Instagram. So that's what that was.
yeah, there's 16 people on there, including Real Breaking Nate, Unlisted Leaf, Steve Aoki signed, the Pokey Jew, Rhyme Style, so again, Super Duper Dandy, SM Pratt
Oh, wow.
is up there, and me and Leon, and
Uh-huh.
uh,
All the legends are on there. I
yeah,
love how it
they're
says
all on
first
there. And
edition there too.
yeah, and they all hand signed it. And so every one of the people on that page I just directed you to is giving away one of these,
Oh,
signed by all of us, including signed by Steve Aoki down. Let's see if you can see it
yeah, I
down
see
there
Aoki sign there too.
on all of ours. And so if they make a $10 donation under those names, they're going to, have a chance to win one of those posters. And some of those guys don't have a lot of donations yet, so spread those $10 out amongst everybody.
And they'll go far for sure.
Oh yeah, they have a good chance to. I'm thinking about putting in more. I'd love to have more of those posters. They're crazy nice. They're really nice. And what I wanted to say was, we're talking about those 16 content creators. I didn't have to ask any of them twice. I said, this is a year ago now. That's how long this has been in the works.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I said, PokeRev, I really need you for this charity drive we're doing for the Aoki Foundation on autism, and and S. Scott Pratt, and every single one I got on the phone, I got immediate yeses. And they
Oh,
every single one followed through the way you would hope they would. And so I give a lot of credit to those people, because they really care about this issue. And also remember, 1 out of every 50 kids are born with autism. There's a very good chance, 99% of us know somebody with autism
yeah,
in
for
that.
sure.
this is not a rare disease, right? This is a very, very common, uh, common happening. So, but yeah, I wanted to give those people their props. That they were that. I mean, they were just on board. The first words out of my mouth, they were on board, and
That's
God love
amazing.
them. That was, yeah, just tremendous.
I love it. I love it so much that we can all just come together and create this to make the world a better place. And
Right.
you definitely are a key part of that whole growing of everyone to know more about autism and to get more involved with Pokemon, get more involved with, just the hobby itself.
Well, look at it this way: had Satoshi Tajiri not had the help he needed when he was a little kid,
Mhm.
right? Had not had his therapy sessions, had not, had his special assistance that all autistic kids need, right? You have severe, minor, that's a whole spectrum, right?
Mhm.
But all of them need help. And had he not had his, we wouldn't have Pokemon today. And
Yeah.
I love to put it that way, that autism created Pokemon, nothing else. That right there personalizes it for us, for you and me and everybody,
I love
in
that.
the hobby. That that's how important autism is, and that's how important our support for autistics are. Because I mean, who's going to be the next Satoshi Tajiri,
Yeah,
right?
exactly, right?
Biggest media franchise in the world, a little autistic boy.
That and it just tells you that it doesn't matter who you are, where you come from. If you have a passion for something, you just do it, and go and do what you love and try
Right.
not to let anybody stop you.
Very, very true and very well said.
Now, how are we doing so far? You got good on your coffee?
Yes.
All right.
I see every time I give a talk, you see, I either drink water in here or coffee. Today it's coffee. But I have such a habit. I talk on and on and on and on
Oh no,
that
I love it.
my throat gets a little parched. And so I almost always have my coffee mug.
Yeah, no, I truly appreciate you taking time to do this with me for my first interview stream on Twitch too. I'm just so honored and very humble of you to do
Well,
this.
no more honored than I am to be your first one on here, because it's not like you're a stranger. I have seen your work and all that, and so that, which was the main reason, I'd love to be a part of it. And I think you have a lot of good things to come.
Oh, thank you so much. Oh, that really means a lot.
And also don't forget about me after this.
I definitely won't.
Somewhere down the road, let's get together again and talk about current events of the time.
Yeah, we could definitely do a recap interview
Yeah,
later down the road for sure.
I love that.
Especially when there's the new Chilling Reign series coming out and more
Yes,
Pokemon series coming out. We have a lot to talk about.
yes, that's for sure.
Now, for one thing, have you gone lately to the stores to check out to see if you can actually get some in retail, or do you actually just go buy online? Because I know that lately, all the shelves have been empty, and it's so hard to find anything nowadays. Very
For
heartbreaking.
Yeah, for me, it only reminds me of how it's always been. I mean, 1999, there were times we had to drive out of state,
Oh,
to get.
wow.
I was in Southern California, and we couldn't find anything, so I would drive to Nevada, to Utah, to Arizona, just trying to find things for the boys,
Oh,
for Pokemon
wow.
Prince and his brother. Uh, and then there was always a secondary market. Thank God, we would go to the collectible stores, and of course we have to pay, extra. That's how they make their living. Uh, and also to shows, like the Frank and Son show in Los Angeles. Everybody from California, all collectors know about Frank and Son. They've been going for 30 years. It's 200 booths of people selling stuff on the secondary market.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And so we were, it took more work, but with a little bit of work and a little more money, we were able to find stuff. And then in 2005, the same thing happened. 2010, the same thing happened. We're the shelves were empty, but you had to go to Yahoo auctions or eBay and pay a premium price for it, or adjust your goals a little bit. There's always there's a million Pokemon items on eBay, right?
Yeah.
Maybe you can't collect first edition base, but you could collect maybe base two, or jungle or fossil, or on down the line. And then a few months later, those other things that, like today, the shelves are empty of them. There are going to be tons of them, and you'll be able to get them then, and then start it going then. 2016, you could not find anything, with the Pokemon Go coming out and
Yes.
Pokemon Shot to the Moon. With my Pawn Stars episode was the same year as Pokemon Go.
It was.
Yeah, 2016, first part of 2017. And I mean, once again, the shelves were all empty, because anytime something gets popular, more people are going to buy it, right?
Yeah.
And
Oh, yeah.
then you're going to have people wanting to go, scalpers wanting to go and buy up all the stuff and then sell it on the secondary market. They're trying to make money.
Yeah.
That's what they're doing. And I'd like to look at it this way: if it wasn't popular, you wouldn't have scalpers, right?
That's
So
true.
I like the idea that the hobby is so popular that the demand is far out dueling the supply.
Yeah. And
So
it makes the value of the card more appreciated too, because it's hard to find.
it
But
does.
it's
It
hard
does.
that you can't be able to like break your own if you wanted to. Like like an
Right.
example of the first edition.
Yeah,
Like
but at the same time, a lot of casual collectors, their collections have gone way up in value too,
yeah, that's
right?
true.
So things they had bought for a lower price, they're worth a lot more now. For people, and for those that want to sell them, it's pretty tempting to start selling a few things, because we could all use the money.
Yeah.
So I mean, in an ideal world, you would have an exact number of people to an exact number of supply. But it doesn't, with this, the 25th anniversary, it figured to be, tight. It figured to be tight. And I don't blame scalpers. I don't blame YouTubers or influencers. If I'm going to blame anybody, although I don't, because I've seen it happen too many times.
Yeah.
If I had to blame anybody, I would blame TPCI, the Pokemon Company International. They just simply don't make enough stuff, to meet the demand. They knew that that this is the 25th anniversary,
That is
right? They knew
right.
this was coming up. Why didn't they have the infrastructure in place to handle, more business? How would you like to be a stockholder in the Pokemon Company, and yet customers are running you down, trying to give you their money, and you got to say, oh, no, I don't have anything to sell you, and yet you're invested in that company.
Right. You're losing in a way, right? You're gonna
Yeah,
lose business.
yeah. Now I know that's a different way of looking at it. It's an easy thing to say, I hate scalpers. That's an easy thing. Anybody can say that, and most do. But there's cause and effect. There's reasons for these things, and this is not illegal, and it's nothing new. It happens over and over again. You have to adjust. I have to adjust to make the way the situation is today, make it fit, into what I crave for in the collectible world, in my own collections. And just remember that shiny fates you can't get today, there's going to be plenty of it tomorrow. Don't worry.
Oh, really? Do you think they're gonna
Oh,
be reproducing more of the
not
same
only
copies
may
back
they
then?
do that, but even if they don't, you're going to have a lot of people. I mean, they made millions and millions of those, shiny fates, millions of them.
Yeah.
It still didn't meet the demand, but they made millions, and people are going to be selling them and trading them. And so, yeah, just be patient. Be patient. Don't lose any sleep or stress over, empty shelves. I mean, I don't like it, except I understand it.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember going to the McDonald's to get a Happy Meal for little Akara.
Yeah, yeah.
They were sold out of the Happy Meals with the Pikachu cards, with the Happy Meal packs, and I felt bad, but I wasn't surprised because it's popular, and that's the price you pay for having something successful, something be successful. But I wish they would have had it because it broke my heart. So I understand how it feels. It's just that I understand how it happens and why it happens.
Yeah, in a way, I kind of like. I mean, I'll go to the store and I'll say, "Oh," because it's empty. But then it kind of gives you that, like that Pokemon Go feel, where you have to go to that location to see if it's there or not. So it's kind of like a chase for your hobby, you know. And I'll go
Yeah,
to
you
like,
got to catch them all,
yeah, you
right?
gotta the
You got to
actual.
catch them. You got to go. You can't sit in your chair and expect it all to come to you.
Exactly.
It's you got to go out and get it, and that
Yes.
is, I agree with you. That's part of the fun.
Yeah. I
If it
definitely
was
went to
easy,
like.
how much fun would that be, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. I like actually today I went to a few Rite Aids and I got lucky and I got one of the new tins that were out and so I was
Mm,
like, yes, finally.
awesome.
But
Cool.
are you also collecting Japanese cards?
I have a lot of Japanese cards because I've been collecting since before there was English cards. So
Uh-huh.
I have a lot of Japanese cards. I was one of the part of the group that brought Japanese cards to the United States before there was
Oh.
English,
Oh wow.
and so and then had them all graded by PSA and sold them on the Home Shopping Network, and that was all Japanese cards. There was no English, and so yeah, no, I've been interested in the Japanese, but honestly, it's a it's kind of an emotional thing, I think. I
Oh.
remember opening up the English packs with my sons.
Uh-huh.
I remember putting those binders together and look in English, even though the artwork was the same as the Japanese. It was in English, and then reading what they did, and then trying to figure out the best way to play them. And so I really believe there's a big nostalgic thing about collecting.
Yes, like on the back of the Japanese one, doesn't it say Pocket Monster instead?
Right.
Instead of the actual
Yeah.
Pokemon card?
Yeah. Well, that's it. That's pretty much it. You're going to enjoy the most what you most identify with, and for us, it was the English cards. I'm sure the kids in Japan would feel the exact opposite. For them, their nostalgia was with the cards that was in their language and that. So and by the same token, the English cards have shot way up. The Japanese set cards, they go up a little bit. It's that's one of the things Scott Pratt recommends. If you can't find these cards on the shelf, if it's too expensive to buy first edition base, get some Japanese base. It's the same artwork. They're beautifully made cards,
Mm-hmm.
and they grade very well if you like to grade them. Uh, so yeah, I do have a lot of Japanese cards, but they don't have my heart the way English cards do.
Ah, yeah, right now for me, I actually am really in love with the Shiny Star V set
Ah, yes.
because there's
Uh-huh.
literally a 4 holograms and the circle hologram at the very end per pack. So you're guaranteed some little surprises at the end.
Isn't that
Versus,
fun? Yeah,
yeah.
that's a lot better. That's a lot better than when you would open up the old packs and you had a good chance of pulling absolutely nothing.
Yeah, I know. The Weedle.
Yeah, right. Only the Weedle and the electrode or devolution spray.
Yeah, the evolution spray. Yeah, for me, it's like I just keep trying and trying, and I spend a little bit of my free money on it because I want a Charizard. Like I want
Yeah.
that hype that everybody wants, and
You
I'm
want to
also
pull it.
I want to pull it myself.
Yes.
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 I'm trying so hard to actually collect every single Pikachu card there is out there, but I know I won't ever get the illustrator, of course.
Yeah.
But I can look at it from far away. But um, I love to just have it open myself rather than buy it separately.
Do
And
you have your Pikachu collection itemized in a spreadsheet and all that?
not in a spreadsheet or anything. Right now, I just have them in binders. So I
Uh-huh.
have my yellow binder that's for electric, and it's all Pikachu's in the very beginning of all the ones that I have, and then it slowly goes on to like EVs and the evolutions and special
That's a
cards.
that's a tough task to collect all the Pikachu cards because
I
there's
know.
so many of them. There's a young man on E4, the collectible website, the collectors website on Pro Boards. It's the elite forum that I belong
Oh.
to. And there's a fella on there. His name is Quador, Quuudor, Quador, Quuudore, I think it is. And he has the most unbelievable Pikachu collection in the world.
I'm
He has
jealous.
he has it on a spreadsheet. He has something now. I'm not sure about these numbers, but something like he has like 350 of the 362 possible Pikachu's, and he knows something like that. But I love character collectors. They're so passionate about collecting. See, I was a set collector. I love to complete sets.
Ah.
Well, you have the Pikachu collectors. They're great. The Gyarados collectors.
Mhm.
There's an unusual amount of Gyarados collectors.
Oh.
Every Gyarados they want, and that's a fabulous way to collect. It's so much fun for them.
Yeah, that's why I have a hard time organizing mine because I do use this app called Pokelector. It's a
Hmm.
very useful app and it has all the cards and like what they come in the set. So I could put it in order of that, but then I just have my favorites all together and it's just like,
Right.
"Oh no." But yeah, I just gotta get them all one day.
This guy sent me a picture yesterday of a card, a Pikachu card. I don't even remember.
Oh,
I think it was a base Pikachu, a base set Pikachu with a gold stamp, Y2K,
what?
Y2K, which was popular in 1999 because of turning to the year 2000. Y2K
Um,
Y2K was turning to the year from
2000.
1999 to 2000.
Yeah.
And he sent me a picture of the card asking me if I could tell him anything about it. And I said, and he had a certificate, and it was limited number thing. And I said, I'll tell you the truth, I've never seen that before. I don't remember ever seeing. I may have, but you start forgetting things when you get older, right?
Oh.
But I don't remember ever seeing that card, a Y2K gold stamp Pikachu.
Gosh, I wonder how much
And
that one's worth.
yeah, well, I mean, I told, that's what he asked me. I said, you know what? I don't remember this card. And I said, but I'm sure it's not authorized, by Wizards of the Coast, because I can't imagine a card was printed I didn't hear about, especially a Pikachu card. So it's probably an unauthorized release, but it's a very professional one.
Oh wow.
And so,
Oh, so those kind of cards exist, huh? Like unauthorized ones.
yeah. There are some. Wizards of the Coast wasn't as protective of their copyright as Nintendo and the Pokemon Company International is now. They're very protective of their copyright. Wizards of the Coast was too busy pumping out product, trying to keep up with demand.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
them and their lawyers didn't have time to go after every small event that somebody was doing.
yeah.
And you know,
That's so cool. I'm learning so much from you. Just like the
yeah,
history and all of that.
yeah.
Let's
Hmm.
see. How much time do we have? Well, it's 8 o'clock. We still got a few more questions if you got time.
Sure,
All
sure.
right. um, so besides Pokemon, what's your favorite food?
Okay, my favorite food. I love Mexican food.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't have any Hispanic blood, but man, do I love Mexican food. When we went to the collectible show in Texas,
Uh-huh.
there's something in Texas they call Tex-Mex, Texas Mexican,
Oh.
and
Oh, it's like
that
a
was
fusion.
I would almost go back to Texas just for that meal It was so good. So my favorite is Mexican. What's your favorite?
I would have to say, if it was the end of the world and all I can eat is this food, would be pizza.
It'd be what?
Pizza.
Oh, okay, okay.
Pizza
Italian.
would be the one.
What nationality are you?
So I am American, but my ethnicity is Korean and Japanese.
Oh, okay, okay.
I was totally born and raised here.
Yeah, my wife, autism instruct, she's 1/4 Japanese also.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then
Uh,
Vietnamese, right?
she's 1/4 Vietnamese,
Oh.
one quarter Japanese, and 50% Chinese.
Oh, Chinese.
Yeah,
Ah, that's amazing.
yeah. But
Well,
she worked. It's funny. She worked for a lot of Koreans in Vietnam. There's a lot of Korean businesses in Vietnam, and I don't know if you know, but I lived and worked in Vietnam myself.
oh, really? Oh,
So I had a lot of dealings with them. Yeah.
wow, that's amazing. So when did you were here, born and raised here, and then you went to Vietnam to work, and is that how you guys met?
Yes, I was hired. I've run casino hotels before in Las Vegas.
Oh,
And
wow.
so I was hired to run a resort on the South China Sea uh, in a town called Ba Ria near Vung Tau, Vietnam. So I was hired as director to run the resort, and Tuan was hired to be the assistant director, and she speaks Chinese, Vietnamese, English. She is multilingual, and so
Wow.
he was nice enough to help me with translations because 95% of our employees didn't speak English. They all spoke Vietnamese because it was a small town on the outskirts of a big town in Vietnam.
Oh, wow.
So they didn't learn. If they learned a second language, it would be Russian.
Oh,
So
Rush, really?
there was no, because another communist country, but there was no English speakers. So Tuan was nice enough to help me in her free. She was busy, but in her free time would help me in my translations with the employees, and which I needed, because I couldn't communicate with them otherwise, and then we fell in love, and you know how that stuff
Aw.
goes.
Yeah.
And then my time was up, and I was coming home, and she didn't want me to go home. She wanted me to stay there and live
Yeah.
because she was kind of well established in Vietnam. She was amongst the top earners and all that.
Oh, wow.
And I told her I can't. I have to come back to the United States because my boys were like 14 and 15 or something like that.
Okay.
And so I had to get back to my boys, and but I told her, I said, if you come to the United States with me for 5 years, and after 5 years my boys would be grown and gone, right? Then, and you want me to, then I'll go back to Vietnam and I'll live there the rest of my life,
Aw.
if that's what you want. And so she agreed to that. But once she came here, and then little Akara came along,
Mhm.
and she went to UNLV, got her bachelor's and her master's, and now she's comfortable here. So now she wouldn't want to leave, even though all of her family is in Vietnam.
Yeah.
But she gets home all the time.
Oh,
So
that's
she gets
good.
to see them. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Gary. I actually do have a few who have questions for you, if that's okay.
Absolutely. Go
We
fire.
have West Coast Avenger 1 asking, did you ever collect the Garbage Pail Kids in the 80s?
And the what?
Are they called Garbage Pail Kids, the
Yeah.
cards?
And just the car. Oh yeah, I have my sets. Yeah. I collected every trading card game. I collected all of them, even if I didn't have an interest. I not only wanted to collect them all, but I wanted all those oddball sets and that. Now those are really nice value now. The Garbage Patch,
Oh,
really
really?
nice values. All those sets, 95% were worth nothing for 20, 30, 40 years.
Yeah.
Suddenly they're worth something, I'd say half of them have some value now. So
Oh, there you go, West Coast. You better go check your cards and
yeah,
see
me
which ones you
too.
have.
We were talking about Marvel. I don't know if that was during the live stream, but we were talking about Marvel,
Yes.
and those sets were worth absolutely nothing for 20 years, and now all of a sudden they have some really nice value. So even if there's no value today, hang on to those sets, keep them in good condition, hang on to them, because sometime down the road, it just might shock you what they're going to be worth.
Yeah, I currently the only full set of the Marvel cards I have is the Danger Room.
Oh, okay. Uh-huh.
That one I do have, but they're not in the best shape because, I did take them individually and I would just, try to draw them out on my hand because I really, really wanted the details and to learn how to draw that style. But, you know, so some of the edges are not that great on mine.
Yeah, well, but that's a real memory set. That has a value beyond the dollar.
Hmm. Do you have any cards to show us?
Um, of course I don't keep many cards here at the house,
Ah,
but let me see. I have one card here. Hold on one second.
okay. Yes, if you guys have any questions for Gary, please feel free to put it in the comment. I'll ask him. Yes, he does have a vault of all the collections there that we all wish we get to see. And thank you so much for the subs, the follows, and for being here. I truly appreciate it for my first interview stream. There will be more to come. Hi Solid, hi Wing. I see you guys. Impact, you guys are wonderful. Wolf, thank you so much. Digital. Oh, he's back. Let's see what he got.
Yeah, one of my favorite sets has always been the Shadowless set.
Oh yes.
The Shadowless, and I've been collecting those since early 1999, uh, because I always liked the artwork, even though they changed the artwork to make it look nicer. I always liked that artwork. Anyway, this is a Shadowless Charizard,
Yes.
and it is a PSA 10,
Wow.
and I have 12 of these, but this is the nicest condition one of all of them.
Wow.
I actually have 13 of
13
these.
of those ones? And they're all
Yes.
PSA 10s?
Yeah, all PSA 10s.
Oh
And
yeah.
you can look at those corners. I mean, they're
Flawless.
just beautiful, and the centering is nice. And
That's beautiful.
yeah, is it showing up backwards to you?
Oh, it's showing perfect. It
Oh, it
says
is. Oh, okay.
Charizard, yep.
Backwards. So anyway, this one I am selling. See, I almost never sell anything, but I'm selling this one because I don't want 13 of one card.
I wish I could afford it, Gary.
Yeah, right.
My address is no.
Well, actually, I have a buyer already. So,
Oh, how much is it going for?
well, about $95,000.
95,000. Wow.
Yeah, but
That's
this one
amazing.
I think is even worth more than that, because it's the best of all. And so,
So why do you think Charizard was the most popular? Why not Pikachu?
yeah, I think it's because uh, the rarity and the notoriety of it.
Oh.
Pikachu was probably the most popular, but as far as a valuable collectible, there were way fewer Charizards. Pikachu was just a common card in the set, and so there, it was easy to pull a Pikachu common. But to get a Charizard Holo, where it's something like one out of every 45 packs or something like that,
Oh, okay.
because it's one out of 15, and then I one out of 3, and there's one holo out of 3, and 12 come in a box. If you add it all up, it's about one out of 45.
One out of 45. Holy cow.
Well,
I
one
feel
out of
it. I feel
45
it.
holos. Yeah. So anyway, that's it's just harder to get. Plus, it had it was the most dangerous in the game. It had the most hit. It did the most damage. It had the most hit points at 120 hit points, and it did 100 damage. And
Ah.
yeah, so I think there's and plus he with those green wings, he just looks awfully cool.
Yeah. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, such a classic. And that one's
Yeah.
not a first edition, right? That one's what series is that? Just the base
That's the
set?
Shadowless.
That's a Shadowless. Okay.
Yes. Which after the first edition, they took off the stamp and just did run a Shadowless, and then they changed the artwork. So the rest of the Unlimiteds all have the shadow around it.
Wow, that's so cool.
You know, your dog Pikachu is the most patient. He's the most patient
Hi, baby.
thing I've ever seen in my life.
Yes. She's,
How he hangs in there with you, and
yeah.
he has not moved, or
Yeah.
she.
Yeah, she's a she. She's
Yeah.
15 years old. I've
Oh
had
my
her
God.
ever since she was 8 weeks old. She's amazing.
Oh. Oh, how great.
Oh, we got a treat. Someone got a treat for her. Thank you, Digital. And we have another question from
Yes.
Danny Kim. He says, do you have any future plans or thoughts of um what to do regarding your Pokemon collection going forward?
Well, I mean, I just love my collection so much. I just hope to keep it as long as I live. You know, keep it the rest of my life, and then from there, the boys, they'll do what they want.
Oh yeah.
Uh, but yeah, I don't really have any plans. I love to show every time I make an appearance, whether it's at a little local card shop or at a big convention. I always bring cards, for like these, like this one for people to hold on to, look at them close up, take pictures with. Uh, so, that's certainly in my future plans is to bring cards, for people to see in person and to hold and take pictures of.
You're a great salesman. That's actually a very good salesman tactic. You hold the product, you feel it, you see it. Yes.
Right. Well, I mean, who's gonna spend 90,000 on a Pokemon card, right? So
Yeah.
not many people, even if they can afford it, would. So being able to actually see that, especially younger, kids, and that to hold them, and my collection is, kind of legendary because people know me and they know my collection. My
Yeah.
Pawn Stars, all those Charizards, I still have those.
You still have
And,
those ones. Oh wow.
yeah, I still have all those. Oh, just about. I sold two. I sold one of the first edition Charizards to Logan Paul, and I sold one to Steve Aoki,
Nice.
uh, because I knew it would be good for the hobby. I knew it would make the hobby blow up even bigger, and it would increase the value of all the ones I had left. Except I never sell them, so it doesn't help me.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, you know that later down the road they're gonna be worth so much more and keep
Yeah,
on going. Do you have
yeah.
any cards that are like autographed by you that are gonna be worth anything more too?
Well, interesting thing is PSA just this last 2 weeks ago, they authorized my signature
Oh.
to designate. So if I signed a card for you, you could send it into PSA, and they would authenticate my name, my signature, and put it on the label, Gary King Pokemon.
Oh
Uh,
wow.
yeah, so that's quite an honor, That, I mean, that's really special.
Uh-huh.
So I sign a lot, at the shows. I sign, tons of cards, and I'm happy to. And now PSA will designate them, so that's even better. It makes me feel, more important than I really am.
You are very important, Gary.
Yeah, thank you. Well, I mean, I can see them designating like Steve Aoki's, or, like if you type in my name, Gary King Pokemon, the name under mine is King George.
King
So,
George.
that kind of, might go to my head a little bit. I'm right above King George
Wow.
as far as authentic.
Oh wow. Oh, so you like if you're at Oh, I was gonna ask that too. I have a few more questions from our followers here. But
Sure.
um I was gonna ask personally, I have not sent in a card for PSA yet because I don't know what card to send or how
Uh-huh.
even to. And a lot of my friends who are actually really into and have a few slobs of their own is like they're saying that's gonna take forever to get it back. because it's just so much in production right now and requested to have them graded. So what do you suggest? Is PSA the only one you would prefer to, or there's others that we can try but not as great as PSA?
Yeah, yeah, I think that's a good way to put it. I'm even though I'm extremely flattered and grateful to PSA for doing my signature, I'm very much angry at them for the way that their turnaround times are, that they can't find a way to speed that up. I have orders in myself that I've been waiting since the middle of last year
Oh
for,
wow.
and that kind of takes the fun out of it. If you're
Yeah.
going to send it a card today, you're not going to get it till next year, next January. What fun is it to send it in, right? So the other companies, I mean, like CGC or Beckett's, BGS, I think they're legitimate. They're legitimate companies, except they're not the standard for Pokemon. You can get a gem mint card with one of those companies, and this one, it won't be worth hardly half as much. So PSA is the standard, but they operate their business horribly recently. So I
We
mean,
might have to make another plan.
probably, yeah, CGC has picked up a lot of the slack for that. They're still open, they're still taking submissions, and people are sending their cards into CGC, hand over fist. They're sending them in like crazy, and that's going to hurt PSA in the long run.
Yeah, I think so too.
Mhm.
Oh, so Impact Sounds asks, what's the next hard? Sorry, I'm like butchering that one.
Mhm.
Impact Sound says, what's the next hot card collection?
Well, probably MetaZoo. MetaZoo is tremendous. I love MetaZoo.
What is MetaZoo?
It's a brand new card game. They did a Kickstarter a number of months ago. They did a Kickstarter. The first edition MetaZoo won't be coming out until for a couple months. The real release, that was kind of the ones we got now, are like a pre-release. And what they are, they're cryptids. And what a cryptid is a mythological character that's known to a lot of people in your area. So like a Bigfoot. You know what Bigfoot
Oh,
is?
yeah, Bigfoot.
So
I haven't seen
Bigfoot
him,
is,
but
no, me either. Most of them are myths. They're not real, but they're real to a lot of people in a region. They kind of take pride in their cryptids. So Loch Ness monster is like in England is a cryptid. So characters like that. So what this fellow did, Michael Waddell, he created a card game using, you know, regional mythical characters in that. So,
oh,
and the artwork on them is cool. It's going to get better and better too. You remember, this is brand new. Uh, I'm already starting to build a set. I got
yeah, I want to see some if you have any.
yeah. Let me show you.
Yeah, thank you everyone for being here with me today on my first interview stream on Twitch with Gary, the Pokemon King. If you have any questions, keep shooting them for now.
See, this is the set I'm building right now,
Oh
and
wow.
these are cryptids.
And who is that?
This foil. Okay, that one is the Metal Man of Alabama. Now, people in Alabama, they know who that is. Metal Man.
Metal Man.
Metal Man. And then there's Mothman is the big guy.
Mothman.
I pulled his reverse, but I haven't pulled his holofoil yet. So
Oh.
but it's, oh, see, did I say Mothman?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, Mothman. That's his reverse I already pulled.
Oh.
And now where the character is the foil,
Uh-huh.
on the holofoil, everything except the character is foil. So yeah, Mothman I think is the next big thing. But even if it's not, I'm going to build a set, and I'm going to have a set of them because I just love putting these things, putting those sets together. And and again, like you were saying earlier, it's like the thrill of the chase. It's the effort it takes to go and do it to make it worthwhile.
Yes.
And so and so I think the next big thing is MetaZoo.
That is you.
Now, I mean, but what do I know? I know it's cool, and I know I'm really enjoying it. So,
And are you
but
gonna be a part of the MetaZoo casing too, or?
no, I mean, I'm gonna use it as an enthusiast, but I'm not. I have talked to the owner though, because they always try to get me, and I say no, I don't want free product. I don't want anything like that. If I get something, I just want to buy it, and I'll buy
Yeah.
it. Otherwise, you feel obligated to say something nice about it. And also, he was asked in an interview recently that we see Gary is a real fan of MetaZoo. Uh, did you give him stuff and send him money and that to be that? And the way he said, listen, I couldn't give Gary anything he would even care about because I'm not in the position where I need a few $100 just to lie about what I enjoy, right?
Yeah.
So, but in his case, as it turns out, I love this stuff. I love MetaZoo, and yeah. So you're that follower of yours. Look up MetaZoo. It's a lot of fun. And again, it was released as a Kickstarter a number of months ago. The first edition release will be soon, and then there'll be unlimited releases after that. And I think he has something like, he said 4 or 5 sets in advance, the artwork drawn, all ready to go.
Oh
In that.
wow. Oh, so is it just it's a group of people doing the art, right? It's not just one guy.
Oh yeah, it's a
Oh,
group
okay.
of people doing the art for sure. The guy who came up with the idea, and I guess he financed it all, besides through the Kickstarter. He's a physicist, and
Oh.
he's a scientist. Well, that's my background too. So
Hmm.
I went to UCLA and took biological chemistry.
Oh
So
wow.
that's my background. But anyway, he's a physicist, but what he loves is this. And so I could identify with that.
Great. That was a perfect answer to that question. Thank you so
Yeah.
much. I
Uh-huh.
have another question from Danny Kim. He says, "How can we get or can they send their cards to you to sign?"
Yeah. Well, you know what I do? I get so many requests. Uh,
Oh, I bet.
the only way, and I will never turn it down, if somebody will mail me a self-addressed stamped envelope.
Hmm.
If they'll send me a package with their favorite card, whatever they want signed, and send it with a self-addressed stamped, with the, so all I have to do is take the card, sign it however they'd like, put it in their package, seal it, and let it go.
Okay.
Otherwise, I just don't have the time. I'd just be doing too many. And
Yeah.
plus, I do a lot of appearances, so I'm always happy to do it. At shows and things like, or pre-release, things at card shops or anything
Hmm.
like that. I'm more than happy to.
I would love to send you some cards too.
Anytime, anytime.
I will message you later for that.
Deal.
Another question. Do you still have some time for more questions?
Of course,
Oh,
yes.
great. Thank you,
Go
Gary.
ahead.
I have
Uh-huh.
a question from my buddy Toshi. He is actually a huge card collector from back then. He had his own anime shop as well, and he just recently showed me his whole collection from 1996. First
Wow.
editions and Japanese editions. So I'm actually
He
making
was in
videos for
Japan.
those. He was actually here,
Huh.
and then he had family in Japan, right,
Hmm.
Toshi? If I got that correct. But it will be on the video, so I will be making more YouTube of those and all of his collection sets that he showed me. So
Right.
cool.
Sure.
I'm sure you have them all already. He asks, do you collect anything else from the Pokemon series or just Pokemon cards?
Yeah. If I could take you into our living room, there's Pokemon plushes everywhere. But as far as really collecting them, Not really. It's just that we buy a bunch because we like to, and the little girl likes them so much. Uh, but I don't collect video games. I don't collect the Pokemon video games. Um, I'm trying to think what else. I don't collect. I do collect Pokemon magazines. Uh, all languages of Pokemon cards I do collect.
Oh, like so the Korean and I did. Toshi showed me a Spanish one. That was cool.
Yeah, I have. Here, I have this happen to be right next to me.
Toshi, look, he's gonna show us.
Well, the Spanish, like this is a Spanish,
Oh my god, his box
box.
is huge.
and these are all base set.
Wow.
These are all
Oh,
base set
wow.
Spanish cards. So that gives you an idea. First edition and unlimited, but they're all from the original base set in
Oh my
Spanish.
gosh. See, Toshi,
So-
you need that box because Toshi brought his whole box full of cards for me, but they were all in sleeves, which is very nice and organized, and I was able to go through them very easily. But
Very
yeah.
nice. Yes. But I also have the Chinese, the Portuguese, the Italian, the Dutch,
Oh,
French, and the Japanese. So
wow. Do you think that other languages are going to be just as high as American or no?
I don't think as high as the American, but I always thought they would do well. But even the Japanese don't do all that great. The set cards, they've gone up, but not exponentially.
Yeah.
So if they ever do go up, I have a lot of them, but I don't think, I don't know.
Yeah. We just never
Korean,
know.
yeah, Korean Unlimited are worth a fortune. And if you could find Korean Unlimited cards, you really got something. Korean first edition, not as rare.
Really? Oh, so what do you mean by unlimited?
That means not the first edition. The first edition come out first, and then Unlimited come out second.
Ah.
The first edition came out and pretty much, got collected, but not all of them. And so there was little need for many Unlimiteds.
There you go, guys.
It didn't catch on in South Korea as fast as some of the other countries until later. And so, yeah, Korean Unlimited, I'm always looking for. Even commons, uncommons, doesn't matter.
Oh,
They're
okay.
all really valuable.
Wow. That's a good tip. Now we
Yeah.
know what you're looking for.
Yes.
If I
Uh-huh.
find any, I'll send them your way.
Deal.
Danny has one more question for you. He did
Yes.
say, when you sign cards, do you sign on the card directly or on the case of the card?
Yeah, I do whatever they want.
Whatever you want, Danny. Whatever you
Yeah,
want.
Some want it on the card saver, some want it on the top loader, some want it on the soft sleeve, some want it right on the card. PSA will grade them, will authenticate my signature if it's right on the card.
Oh, on the
But-
card itself. Okay.
Yeah, but if you have a really valuable Charizard or something, or a super rare Pikachu, you really don't want some strange guy writing on the card, right?
Yeah, I always wondered, like, I saw Aoki, he was just signing like crazy and on his life breaks and stuff. I was like, is he writing on the card or
Right
no?
on the card.
Wow.
But his signature, I think, is worth a lot more than mine. So I can understand that.
Oh yeah,
but no,
definitely.
if they whatever they tell me to sign on, I had a little boy. I was at Steve's house the other day,
Uh-huh.
and there was a little boy there who was the son of the father who was over there for, I don't know, I think doing measuring pictures or something. And he recognized me, the little boy, 11-year-old.
Aww.
And anyway, he wanted me to sign, after talking to me, he had me sign his binder. And then he said, I don't know, should I sign this? He had a Charizard VMAX.
Oh wow.
He said, and so I said, well, do you want me to sign on the card saver or the sleeve? Figuring he doesn't want it on the Charizard VMAX, right? He said, well, no, I want to write on the card. I said, are you sure you want to write on the card? He said, yes, I want to write on the card. So I called his father over.
He called his father. Double
I
check.
said, this is a valuable card, and he's asking me to sign. He said, oh, sure, it's fine with me, whatever he wants to do. And so I said to him, I said, okay, I'll sign it on the card and on the soft sleeve and on the card saver. So you'll get 3 signatures, and then you can always put different cards inside the other 2.
Oh,
You know?
precious. Oh, that's such a good
Yeah.
idea. I bet you he
Uh-huh.
was so happy.
Right. Mhm. Mhm.
Alright, I think this will be the last question for tonight. It's
Sure.
8:30 now,
Uh-huh.
mid overtime. West Coast Avenger 1 says, does Gary collect other things besides cards?
I collect magazines and comics. I have magazines from the 1920s. They're called pulps, made out of a certain type of paper, pulps, and those are science fiction magazines with stories by H.G. Wells and the like.
Oh,
And,
wow.
and I have those from the 1927 to I think 1932. So I collect those. Uh, I actually collect baseball cards, sports cards, and I mean, I'm probably forgetting a lot of things. I mean, I have 3 storage lockers full of my collectibles, things I like to collect.
Yeah.
Um, and so, yeah, but I do, I don't know, a collector's a collector. Anything you enjoy, you want to keep close to you, collect them and keep them close to you. So, yeah, I'm an incorrigible collector. And it's funny because nobody else in my family was. My mother and father, they threw things out as soon as they weren't useful anymore. They didn't collect anything. I have an older brother, never collected a thing. Uh, but I was born with a collector's gene, and so I've always been a collector. Going back, I was born in 1954, and in 1959 I started collecting bottle caps of football players.
Oh,
They
yeah,
were
that's
like a
right.
Coke. You would break off the top off a Coke or one of those, and inside there'd be a picture of the football player, and
Oh,
that's when I
wow.
started collecting, and I've been collecting ever since, and just totally enjoying it.
Oh, the coins too. Should we be keeping those? Like the little tokens that are the game coins that we have sometimes
The
in packs?
Pokemon coins.
Yeah.
Well, I know that they're grading them. I know there's companies that grade those coins, and just about anything. Uh, I wouldn't say no. I don't collect them, but I sure want. Actually, I do have a binder with a bunch in there,
Oh, yeah.
but I couldn't tell you if they're a complete set or not. I don't know them that well.
Yeah.
But I do know that PSA or PSA's coin division, they do grade Pokemon coins, and they look great when they're encapsulated, with the name of them on the label. I think it's a cool collectible, uh, but I haven't gotten very much into that.
All right, perfect. Well, thank you so much, Gary. I appreciate your time with me and answering all the questions that I had for you and all the followers' questions. I hope that we get to do this again someday.
Well, I think at least next year you got to get back to me, and we got to see how our guesses and
Yeah,
our
our
see,
predictions.
see how we made out. See how we did, or see how wrong Gary was. Whatever. That's, I mean, Pokemon coins could be worth thousands of dollars each by then. Who knows? So let's revisit this again.
Definitely
Absolutely.
will.
And thank you
Definitely.
for making me, your first attempt at,
Yes, thank
at
you
a
so
live
much.
stream. And if I can help you, anywhere else along the line, just let me know for sure. I'd love to do it.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate it, Gary. Tell Twan I say bye and thank
All
you
right.
so
Bye bye,
much.
everybody.
Goodbye, everybody. Take care.
Bye bye. Did that go good?
Oh, yes, they can definitely still hear us.
Oh, okay.
But I have
Okay.
it on my ending screen now, Gary.
All right. Yeah, well, I just personally wanted to say goodbye, and thanks for having me. Let me do this with you.
Oh yeah, I truly appreciate. Oh my god, this is so cool. Cause like I was like, what? You really wanted to do this with me? Oh my gosh.
Oh, absolutely. And I look forward to the next time.
For sure, I will
All
definitely be
right.
messaging you some questions and for the PSA stuff and send you
Right.
something.
Just let me know.
I
And
will.
if you want those autographs, yeah, just, we'll work it out.
All right,
Okay.
sounds good.
All right.
Take
Thanks so
care,
much.
Gary. Bye.
Take care. Bye bye.